What's up, guys? It's episode 312. Welcome back to the show. Hey, what's up? It's Jacqueline. Welcome back to the show. Good evening. It's currently Friday night at 7 p.m. I'm sitting here with candles lit in my little studio by myself. And the only reason I pressed record today is because my boyfriend, ex now, asked me to share his perspective with my audience. He sent me like a 5-paragraph essay, and he said he wants his perspective shared because he was aware that I podcasted about the cheating story. And I'm just going through so many emotions right now. Like, nothing about this is fun. Part of me is like, I'm like still mourning. I'm like still mourning the relationship. I'm still mourning what happened. I'm still in that post breakup, like sadness mode. Every time I think about it, I get like that stomach, like pit, and I want to start crying. And like, I'm going through that. And then at the same time, I'm like fucking over it and just like, yeah, keep airing it out. Keep sharing the dirt on what happened and keep blasting your ex all over your podcast and fuck it, because it's like, it's over, it's done with. I think a lot of you right now would say like, Jacqueline, stop wasting your breath on this man. Like, this is like, it's over with. You guys are not meant to be together. Like, it's done. Okay. But again, he's like, I want my perspective shared. You guys listening are invested. I got a ton of new listeners after that last episode, a ton of new listeners from San Diego, which is crazy. Like, people DMing me from, around here. It's such a small town. That's what I found out after the last episode. Like, the DMs I got from people, like, who knew about, like, who I was referring to the last, like, it's nuts. And fuck, okay, like, this sucks. Fuck, like, this is my life, okay? I'm learning on the job. I'm not an expert at relationships, okay? All I know how to do, and all I ever intend to do is, on this podcast, is share my story and my life experiences with the intention to learn more about myself and my behavior and why I am the way I am, and help you listening. Because maybe something I'm saying is going to resonate with you some way. It might make you feel like there's someone out there in this world you can relate to and you're not alone. Okay? Like, that's the point here. So in no way do I want to make this, honestly, I know what I just said about, like, part of me is like, fuck it, but and just talk about how much of a piece of shit he is and just air it all out and just hit it hard like that with that kind of energy. But honestly, my heart and my character, whatever, I don't even know, just like the type of woman I am, like, in no way do I want to make this a gotcha episode. I don't want to talk a lot of shit. I just want to, like, explain everything that happened objectively. I actually really want to hear your guys' opinions and feedback. I got so many DMs over the last week, and you guys were actually, like, super helpful, like, with your opinions about this all. And I think after this episode, I'm going to be curious to hear what you have to say about, like, his text and his perspective and, like, all of that. So fuck, I'm on a, like, a teeter-totter right now. Because here's the thing, like, I'm not fucking soft, okay? I'm not fucking soft. I will never tolerate any form of disrespect towards me in any, like, in just at all. And I feel like I don't get disrespected very often. I don't get cheated on all the time. So when it happens, of course, I'm going to talk about it on this show because, unfortunately, we all go through that with relationships here and there. And it's, in my opinion, one of the most relatable, real things you can talk about. Like, it's fucking real. We all, like, no relationship is perfect. Nothing about the human experience is perfect. And fuck, I'd rather be honest and vulnerable and raw and talk about exactly what happened and share the details, exactly how they unfolded, than just say, fuck it, move on, don't waste your breath. Because I think, like I said last episode, this is a teachable moment in my life that I will learn and grow from. And I'm kind of all in. I'm committed at this point. After he said he wants his perspective shared, I'm like, well, I got the green light. Might as well go press record on a part 2 and talk about it. So, but this isn't fun. I was in love with him. I don't want to cry right now, but I was with this man for about a year. I thought I was going to I can't talk. Thought I was going to meet his parents this weekend. I thought he was coming to Vegas with my family next month. He asked me what I want to do for my birthday. He wanted to go on a trip with me for my birthday in July. That was coming up. Just like oh my God, we fucking talked about moving in together recently. It's not easy, like, having those, like, that anticipation and that, like, hope, or not even hope, like, I was hoping we'd stay together. It's just like everything was fucking great until it wasn't, and it's just like 100 to 0 like that. And I think that's the thing a huge lesson I learned about romantic relationships is that's how quickly things can end. Like, one fucking thing happens and you're cheated on, and then it's done. And all that momentum, all that whatever, the hope of the future, and the excitement about the future, and the thoughts of maybe you marrying him someday, and how much, like, I thought I was gonna have kids with him, like, all that, like, it's done. So that's why this is hard. And shit, you guys if you listen to the last episode, you're probably like, hold on, let me, like, pull it together right now. Fuck, I got the AC on, cooling my neck off. Shit, I'm gonna do this. I'm committed. If you listen to the last episode, you probably heard me. You did hear me detail out all of the red flags and all of the ways that we weren't compatible, right? So you're probably thinking, like, Jacqueline, like, obviously, if you're a smart enough woman to realize and to make peace with the fact that you're not good partners for each other. He wasn't your man. Like, this wasn't a good fit, right? But this is the part I want to share with you about myself that I need to be completely honest about, and something I kind of kept in my back pocket over the last year while I stuck it out and stayed with this man. So basically, I had it in my head that it was, like, mature of me, or like good on my part, or how do I say this? Yeah, like, mature of me to have the mindset that no matter who I get into a romantic relationship with, no matter who they are, they're going to be flawed. They're not going to be a perfect human being, okay? And red flags will come up along the way, and that's just normal. That's just life. That's just how human beings are. I've never met an imperfect human being, okay? Other than Jimmy. He's a dog. Okay, so that was my mindset. Like, okay, I understand all humans are flawed, including the love of my life, my boyfriend. He's not going to be perfect. And so I was telling myself throughout the relationship that, well, after the first red flag and I jump ship and I go to the next guy, a red flag's going to pop up and I'm not going to like it. And then I'm going to jump. It's just like, you're never going to find a perfect person. So I was looking past a lot of things, and I was like willing to accept him for who he was and all of his quirks and flaws, because none of them honestly were total deal breakers. They were not, they were kind of like, okay, that's annoying, or I'm not super stoked on the fact that you're having to like debrief after I got COVID because of my judgment about getting the vaccine, and you don't know if you can be with me because I wasn't fully vaccinated and I got like that whole situation I explained last podcast. Like, anyways, like those kinds of things were annoying. Like a couple of the other red flags I mentioned were just kind of like, yeah, that's annoying, but it was never like, oh, I can't continue on a relationship with you. You know what I mean? So yeah, like if I'm being honest, over the last year, I was constantly like accepting him for who he was, and I loved him for who he was fully, and I wasn't, I was never like, I was willing to like work with him even up until the end. Even up until he fucking cheated on me, guys. I have a story to tell about what happened after all that went down, and how I, in a way, like came back, and I wanted to fight for our relationship. So, again, I know if you listened last episode, you're probably like, Jacqueline, come on, you're wasting your fucking time, okay? But that's just me being honest, and I know that's, I think that's because I'm a lover and I'm a fighter, and I don't give up on people easily. And I think that's to a fault. I think I learned that from my parents, because they stuck it out for a really long time with each other. Fuck, I'm crying. As hard as things got. And so fuck, let's get into the tea, I guess. The final text message that he wants, where he said he wants his perspective shared. Okay, I just collected myself, and Jesus, I did not plan on getting that emotional on this part 2. But yeah, I just collected myself, and a thought came over my body about this man, and I just like saw the light, or I just like had an epiphany about him. And this is going to be the part of the episode where the tone's going to shift. Okay. Like I said in the beginning, I'm like teeter-tottering between being an emotional, sappy, sad mushball who's going through a breakup where I got cheated on. I'm going from that to like, fuck him, he's a loser, all this shit. Like, you know, I just am mad, angry, like I just want to like pop off. Okay, so while I'm not gonna go full fucking crazy mode, I know first of all, I think he called me in the text a neurotic, insecure person. Yeah, I think a lot of people might categorize me as a psychopath, like a psycho crazy girlfriend, for even recording this episode right now. I'm owning it. I'm fully committed. I'm here. I honestly don't like care. It is what it is. And I think I said enough at the front of the episode to back up what I'm doing here and to justify this whole thing. Okay. And it's, yeah, I don't think it's that bad, but, anyways, this isn't going to be super kind, but okay, the epiphany, the thought, the light I just saw at the end of the tunnel about this man is so average. Like, he's so average in every single way. And holy shit, like, I've been on the phone for like the last week or so, and I've talked to a lot of men around his age, and my brother and like the men in my life that I look up to and respect. And they're like, no man, no, I know like the whole like high value man fucking shit is all over social media, like alpha male. There's like content out there about like how to be a good man and like a yeah, like a high value man. All right. Okay. But anyways, like all of them were saying the same thing. Like, first of all, he's way too old to be acting like this. And this is like so bitch boy, like soy, like when someone said like soy boy, like pansy, like beta male behavior. And yeah, so I'm realizing who I was working with now, who I was dealing with now, and I see him that way. Again, all the emotions, all the love, all the goodness, it's like, fuck, I like, it's easy to like think about that and get sad, but at the end of the day, like the true colors always come out at the end, and you see a person for exactly who they are, and he's fucking average. And I even told him on the phone, like, there's so much I need to tell you, but like, I was like, get your shit together. Like, I am in a different fucking dating pool than you, bro. Like, I think I said that. We exchanged a lot of digs. Yeah, I was like literally, I'm fucking, I think it's because of my mind. I don't think he knows who he is. I think he's like constantly, like, I think he's climbing a mountain right now. I think this man is like throwing backpacks on, going out into the wilderness, like going on all these, he's like constantly on a quest, on an adventure. And it's like, I don't even think this man knows who he is. And he's always like trying to find it out on a trail or like doing a trek somewhere. And I think what he didn't understand that he was working with this whole time is a straight up, no bullshit, direct, outspoken, confident fucking woman who doesn't tolerate bullshit and like disrespect and like average behavior. So fuck. By the way, because I'm a psychopath, crazy ass now ex-girlfriend, I did some major, well, not even major, it didn't even take me that long to find out. Like, I went to our messages on Instagram, I like clicked his profile, and it's like user unfound, and I don't think it says that unless someone like literally deletes their social media. I think this guy, I think he disappeared from the internet. I think he deleted his social media because he's aware I made a podcast about the breakup and what happened. And then okay, let me just get into it. Let me get into his text message, his perspective, and then like what he told me and how like incongruent, or like it doesn't, like what he's telling me isn't what really happened is okay. And I'm going to like ask you guys for feedback because I really want a guy's perspective. I think this is the part where the bros can back up another bro. Maybe you'll feel that way after, if you're like a guy right now and you listen, or you hear you hear me read the text message, you might be like, yeah, I see what he was thinking as a guy. So anyways, should I start with I'm like leaking everywhere. Should I start with his text, or should I start with the story about what unfolded, that I, like the gaps that were missing from the last episode? Okay. I'll read his text. I think that's like how I started the episode, saying I was going to do that. So I'll start with that, with his, essay here. You guys, for breaking up with him and for getting cheated on, like the amount of communication that happened afterwards is so fucking nuts. Like, I'm not very proud of that. I thought I was gonna be the type of person who's just like, fuck you, I'm done. No. Like, there were phone calls for like hours when he was at Coachella. Like, there were messages happening like late night. There were phone calls late night. Like, it carried the fuck on. And there's like reasons for that, which are kind of that it's making me laugh, because it's just like, this man is fucking nut. Like, just, oh, so dumb. Okay, so here we go. This is the last message he sent me. Should I put on my sexy secretary glasses while I read this? Go to YouTube or Spotify to watch the video. Okay. Can't say his name, but this is from my ex. It's very simple. Get your facts straight. I am not going to respond after this anymore. I went golfing with 2 friends and her. We all golfed as friends. Whether I told you who I was golfing with or not is irrelevant, because it was never anything more than that. There was no flirting. There was no sexual tension. There was nothing that could point to anything more than all of us golfing as friends. Me omitting that she was there does not change the dynamics of my emotional feelings at that given time. I don't compromise friendships, and I don't give in to ultimatums, which is what you gave me. I don't live by imprisonment, by being psychologically trapped by a neurotic, insecure person. My actions make me a liar, not a cheater. There was never an emotional affair, as I accepted her as my friend before meeting you. This was the mutual understanding that she and I had moving forward before you were ever in the picture, period. You were the one who walked away and broke up with me the day after I went golfing. At that point, I'm single and free to do whatever I want. You can judge me however you want, but you cannot call me a cheater if you weren't in a relationship. Whether you meant or not doesn't matter, because you said you were done. I moved on immediately. Clearly speaks how I didn't love you anymore and confirmed my intuition that I should have broken up with you months ago. Part 3. How my feelings changed for someone after you broke up with me and walked away is none of your business. I cannot control how, why, or when my feelings towards someone else changes. I cannot help how it escalated thereafter. We're all humans with all sorts of complex emotions and are entitled to those emotions as one pleases. Put this on your story and see how the perspective shifts. I truly wish you all the best and happiness. You deserve someone that makes you happy. Goodbye. Okay, now it's time for me to explain my side of the situation and fill in the gaps, fill in the details that you guys didn't hear on the last episode. So essentially, to recap what went down, he went golfing. He brought this girl he had a history with that he calls his friend, and he didn't tell me she was going to be there, right? I found out, and I called him out, and he's like, no, it was just friendship. There's nothing going on there. And it's not a big deal. And I told him I was uncomfortable, and he just completely was like, I don't care that you're uncomfortable. I don't care that you don't like her. I'm still going to be friends with her, blah, blah, blah. Like that whole thing. Go listen last episode. I go into major detail about what happened and how I found out. So literally I'm on the phone with him like twice that night up until like 2 a.m. talking. And when I woke up the next morning, I was like, I texted him. I was like, I'm walking away. Okay. And he immediately kicks back with, I think you're overreacting. I think we should sleep on this longer. And you know, this one night to make a decision isn't going to solve all of our problems. I think we should sleep on this. Basically like telling me that he was like making it sound like he still wanted to be in the relationship, or wasn't like, he wasn't like, fuck you too. I'm walking away too. Do you know what I mean? So from my perspective, it was like, oh, he's not done and he wants to like work this out and maybe sleep on it for a couple of days and talk about it. Okay. So that's a message I get right after that next morning. And I didn't respond. I didn't say anything back. I was absolutely just like feeling cheated on and that going through that, and I was fucking pissed. And again, the only thing I know how to do is be honest and tell you exactly what was on my mind and carry you through my thought process over that weekend and thereafter, up until like Coachella, and after that when everything blew up and officially ended. So, hi Jimmy petting break. Poor guy is like, do you want another piece of liver? I got him these. He loves these. They're from Wag, these freeze-dried beef livers. Sorry, I'm breaking up the story right now to feed my dog, but he comes first. Also, to my ex, she comes first. Fuck. Okay. Oops. So, hi, Jim. Buddy, I don't know what to do. Should I take a break? Pet you for a bit? So, here's what happened. Here's what happened over the weekend. I'm thinking, okay, he wants to work this out. He wants to sleep on this. And I'm like, okay, he still wants to be in. I'm kind of 1 foot out, 1 foot in. Like, what the fuck? He just went behind my back with this woman I don't trust you with her because of your past and the shady shit that went on between you two over the last year. Like, I'm just not cool with it. So, like, around 4:30 on that Sunday, I had a breakdown. Okay, I made myself an afternoon lunch. And at this point, like, I haven't been eating. I'm just a fucking mess. I'm crying. I'm in a ball all day long, fucking in the shitter emotionally. And I remember I like made myself some food. I went to my bed to eat it. And I couldn't even get it. I couldn't even eat. I started crying. I like took one bite of I think it was like some broccoli and some, like, literally just like a bro meal, like broccoli and rice and chicken. I start eating it and I can't eat it. And I'm just like, I start breaking down. I start crying. I'm like just sobbing, like, you know, what the fuck do I do? I'm still in love with him. Oh my God, you know. I call my mom. I'm like breaking down with her, and she's just the best because she's like, anything you do is perfect. There's no right or wrong here. Just fucking do whatever you feel like doing at this point. And I love that advice because that's life. Like, whatever decisions you're going to make based on emotion, like, sometimes they're going to bite you in the ass, and they're not going to be the most logical, rational decisions. But when it comes to your heart and your feelings and all of that, I think follow your fucking heart. Do what it's telling you to do. Fucking send it and don't hold back. And basically what I ended up doing is I called him. And this kind of goes against everything I guess this kind of goes against what I had in my head about like what to do when someone fucks you over and cheats and like does that behind your back and fucks you over. I don't know what your guys' opinion is on whether or not that was cheating or not, or like was that just shady? You know what I mean? I think it's like, to me, it's like all under the umbrella of cheating. I'm calling it cheating, and you can call it micro cheating. It's all cheating. Okay. It's not being honest with me. It's being deceitful, and it's going behind my back with another woman who I later found out more information on about him and his feelings towards her that makes it just seem like a big fucking cheating shitstorm. So that's just what it is. So poor Jim. Hi. He's consoling me right now. So I had a breakdown. I called him, and he's like, I'll call you back. I'm doing taxes. Okay. Typical. He's like doing his taxes. And then we talk it out. We talk again about what happened and how I was, you know, how I felt so hurt and how I felt cheated on and how I was just basically explaining everything again. Like, we basically had the same conversation we had on that, I think it was like a Friday or a Thursday night. And, you know, he was like, he said he loved me, and he will always love me, and he still loves me, and all this stuff. And it was all like normal and like just kind of somber and just like, you know, it's like two people in love coming together and going, fuck, we just had this blow up, this shitty situation go down between us two, and we're both just kind of distraught and like, fuck, you know. And I'm like, I'm basically what I got him to say, because this could be super long-winded. I was like, look, I think I can handle, and because Jim's on my lap now. I was like, this is what I'm not, fuck, how do I say this? I realized that my insecurities about my man being around another woman has everything to do with, it's like all on me, right? Like, I'm not comfortable with him like going on outings with another woman he's had a past with and not telling me that she's gonna be there, you know. Like, I'm not cool with that, but I think to him it's like, oh, you're just fucking insecure and jealous, and you know, you have issues, right? And it's just like, so I started questioning myself. I'm like, well, maybe what I can do, and this is like, girls don't ever fucking do this, this is not what you're supposed to do. What I told him I was like, look, I know a lot of people our age and like older with like lots of male female friendships, and it's all cool, we're all adults here, it's like normal, right, to have a lot of friends, and you're just like going and hanging out together, and nothing's going on other than just like we're a bunch of buddies hanging out. So I told him, I was like, I think I want to like work with you on this, excuse me, and I think I can like overcome this and like deal with her and you hanging out, and I think I can be okay with this. I just like, I didn't want to lose him, so I'm like, well, what is it that I need to do mentally and shift mentally to like get to the other side, you know? And so that's kind of what I told him. So I was like, you know, I think I can, I love you, I don't want to lose you over this kind of thing. I don't think it's worth breaking up over this stupid fucking, this girl I don't like, fuck. So, and basically what I got him to say, let me cut to the chase, is he was like, okay. I said, you know, I'm in. And he's like, I was really hurt when you sent that text to me that you wanted to walk away, and I'm really heartbroken right now, and it sounded like you made your decision, and I'm really struggling to like, that's like a lot. It like hit him really hard, and he told me, he's like, I just need to like take some space right now and just like I just need like time to think this week. And you know, he was like, he confirmed that he was on the fence in a way, or like he needed time, and then we're gonna have a conversation after like a week of space to like talk about the relationship and how we're gonna move forward. Okay, this is a whole fucking mess. Jacqueline, break up with his ass. Like, just it's just like, if a man needs to do that, like, it's just so, I feel like so dumb. Just like, he should have just been straight up with me, but he wasn't even straight up with me about her this whole time. Like, it's just a fucking shit show. So yeah, so I'm thinking, okay, he's going to take a week off from like, he's going to take his space like he always does when he needs to think about the relationship. And I'm like, okay, I'm in, you're going to come back to me, we're going to have a conversation and see what we're going to do moving forward. Here I am with my hopes up, like he's going to think about it and realize he's still in love with me, still wants me. And then, you know, that's just me being like a little just hopeless romantic, right? He's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm going to Coachella next weekend with the boys. And I'm like, oh fuck, like I would love to go to Coachella with you, right? But here we are on this little like hiatus, this little break. So I'm like, okay, this man's gonna take his week to, you know, he just paid his taxes, he's got a lot of shit going on at work, I know about, he's really busy this week. He's gonna have his little me time, he's gonna go to Coachella with his boys that next weekend, and then like come that next week we're gonna have our conversation and see what we decide on doing moving forward. So if you listened to last episode, you would know, or you would have found out that he went to Coachella with the girl he went golfing with, and they posted pictures together, and she was like, you know, in his arms, okay, like a little couple on their little Instagrams, okay. So here's the tea. This is what he told me, because there was like multiple conversations after, like at Coachella, like I don't even know what day it is right now or when this went down, but he's like, I was like, I thought you were going to Coachella with your boys, and I guess some of his guy friends were there, but I'm like, how did this go down? And he goes, oh, she invited me to Coachella. Jimmy, okay, I think it's time. I need to like sit up straight. Yeah. So he told me she invited him to Coachella. I don't know when that happened. I don't know when those arrangements were made, but like, what the fuck, you know? Just come with me to Coachella, and then when we're there, we're gonna like, you know, be all coupley and like take pictures together. You know, it's just like it's just a fucking mess. And so he lied to me. That's my whole point. It's like, here I am with my hopes up that week after I had texted him, I want to walk away, I'm done, like, you know, and then talking to him and then saying, you know, I want to work together with you on this, then him saying I want space, and then I'm going to go to Coachella with my boys. Like, this whole thing was like, okay, me getting strung along even more, him lying to me, and then me having to find out that this girl was with him. Like, they went together and they like were coupley there. That fucking hurt. That was another dagger. First I saw him golfing, and then I see him at Coachella, and just like, Jesus Christ. I know, Jacqueline, like, dump his ass, be done, don't even give this any time or energy, or her for that matter. Absolute, don't want to say any negative things about her. But yeah, like, obviously this isn't healthy. It's just like a shit show. But what other tea can I spill? Oh, I have like things here, like shit he came clean about later. More red flags. Okay, let me kind of recap, because I just read his text. I told you my perspective. So based on what he said, I want to break down what he said a little bit more. First of all, every single guy I've talked to about this says men put women in categories immediately. Like, and this is just a known thing. And I don't know what kind of man I was dealing with, or like how his brain works, but men know. Like, when you meet a woman, she's either absolutely fucking she's either, okay, complete friend zone, you would never touch her or ever want to do anything romantic with her, just absolute, just like friend zone forever. She's that. Then there's the next category, which is like, you know, would fuck her, and she's, you know, if you got drunk enough, you'd like, you know, hook up with her. She's that category, but you would never like date her. There's that. And then there's like wifey girlfriend material, you would date her and introduce her to your parents. Okay, so men put, and I think women do that too. I know I do that. Like, you get a vibe when you meet someone, and you make that kind of like judgment, or you get that kind of that thing comes over your body about someone, that intuition, that whatever, and you just know. So I think all this, like, she's just a friend, it's just all bullshit, because he came on the phone. I finally got him to fess up and admit how he actually felt this whole time about her. And it's like, I should just tell the backstory now. Like, there was more to it than, no, she's just a friend. So yeah, what was he saying? Oh, we went golfing with two friends and her. We golfed as friends. Whether I told you, there's no sexual tension. There was no sexual tension, which he later confessed to. I am attracted to her. I'm physically attracted to her. I have always been that way with her. So he lied to me this whole time about his relationship with her as just a friend, right? So I like knew this. I knew he was bullshitting me this whole time, but it just sucks to hear that, because I'm like, why weren't you just honest and straight up with me? He prides himself. He always used to, he prides himself on being no BS. He's no BS. You know, I say it like it is. I'm blunt. I'm direct. It's like, bitch, get on my fucking level. Okay? You're such a passive, deceitful, lying bitch boy who can't be straight up if you tried. Like, you're weak. It takes a lot of, I don't know what the word is, like, if you like someone else and not your girlfriend, just fucking figure it out. Tell her as soon as you come to that conclusion. Like, it's just, or just say that from the jump, because from the jump he always framed it as, oh, we're just friends. You know, it's just not. That wasn't the case ever. And yeah, I found out some more stuff about them too over the last year while I was dating him, that he finally confessed to, which is just great to find out. I'd say like the official breakup was that Sunday at Coachella, that Sunday night. I think we talked on the phone that morning. I think he found out about my podcast, and then he like called me immediately, and then we talked that night too a couple times, and then we were texting about her for a while. That's a whole other segment to this episode. Holy shit. So basically, let me just explain what he confessed to about his feelings about this friend of his, this girl who's a friend apparently. So he said that last year, he never told me he never used the word dated ever with her. He was very clear on that. We never dated. It was never romantic. Never dated. Nothing like that. We just went and did things together as friends. So that always sat wrong with me, and I was just like, all right. Okay. I'll just roll with that, whatever. Okay, fine. I don't really, it's not sitting right with me. I am sniffing through, my bullshit detector's going off. Where's my red flag? I have this dart on set. I was looking for a red flag, or like something I can make as a red flag for this episode, but I found this dart in my apartment. I also have a cigar. How badass would it be right now if I lit this bitch up? Is that tacky? I also have all this memorabilia, like the first time we went hiking to Lawson Peak, and I collected this rock, and I have like this like note he wrote here with his handwriting and all this fucking stupid shit I need to throw away. But anyways, yeah, so friend, let's get back to this. I can't shut up about how much he told me she was just a friend. But what he finally confessed to was that the reason they didn't work out, because he was dating her before me last spring, the reason he moved on to me and stopped dating her was because I guess she didn't want a relationship at the time, something like that, whatever. And then he basically said he like stuffed his emotions about her and like buried them over the last year, and like just completely pushed him down, and like totally just like like apparently friend zoned her mentally, which like that no. If you like someone, if you're romantically interested in someone, that shit doesn't go away. Okay, that's not how that works. You don't just go, oh yeah, we're just homies now. Like, where she doesn't want you, but you still want her, so then you just have to go, okay, well, I don't see her romantically or I'm not interested in her that way anymore, so I'm just gonna stuff my feelings. No, okay, I'm not a snowflake. Like, that it doesn't work that way. You still go, maybe someday, or like, if she comes back, I'd take her back. You like her, and he fucking did this whole time. So he can bullshit me all day long about how I can't control how my feelings evolved. Like when we went to Coachella, all this bullshit. It's like, Jesus Christ. So yeah, basically he said he stuffed his feelings. He liked her, and then she didn't want him, and then he met me, and then just a fucking mess. So what else should I break down in his text message? I'll sum things up and speed things along here by saying that the part that hurt the worst for me was how he strung me along for that week and had my hopes up that he was going to come back after the week of space and going to Coachella and have a conversation with me about the relationship and how we're going to move forward. He said he was hurt by my message that I was walking away, and he was he was very hurt by that, and he took it hard, and it just sounded like he was still in, and he still wanted to figure it out with me. And so yeah, it just sucked how I was like going through that whole week with my hopes up. Things were good, like we were messaging we were still texting and being pretty like neutral and positive. We weren't communicating a lot, but I had something exciting happen at work that week, and he talked to me about it. Was just like normal. Things were really normal, and I just felt like I was like, okay, so he's taking some space, he's busy with work this week, okay, whatever, I can like deal with this. I'm like willing to work with that. And then I'm thinking, okay, then he's going to go to Coachella with his friends this weekend and then come back next week and we'll talk and then move forward from there, right? So that's like the story I had in my head about what was going to go down. But instead, he fucking dipped to Coachella with the girl he was secretly into this whole fucking time and blew me off. And then I had to find out. And then it just wasn't, it was so dishonest and just fucking, it was just straight up mean. It just cruel. Like, just tell me. She invited me to Coachella. I'm going with her to Coachella. I'm interested in her. I don't like you anymore. I like her. Just tell me. I can handle that. Okay? I've dealt with worse shit in my life. I've had worse things happen to me in my life. Like, I'm a grown-up. I'm a big girl. You can tell me. He's such a little fucking weak, passive person where he just couldn't do that. Like, that's who I was working with this whole time. Like, I would never, like, I will never be with a man who's not super honest and open and like fully just transparent about his feelings and what he's really thinking, because it's just a joke. It's a fucking joke. Like, it's like dealing with a toddler. It's like, or toddlers are even more straight, or are more straight up than he was. You know, so that hurt a lot. Yeah, and so there's more shit I was gonna spill, more tea. Oh, I never really finished breaking down his so he wrote, I don't live by imprisonment by being psychologically trapped by a neurotic, insecure person. He thinks it's neurotic that I don't like him being friends with a girl he had a past with that I now know was his intentions were always romantic and not just pure friendship. He thinks that I'm a neurotic, insecure person for being uncomfortable with him, bringing her around behind my back and not telling me. Is that gaslighting? Is that... He fucking flips it on me like I'm the crazy person. It's just like, hey dude, I'm not comfortable with that. And instead of being like, yeah, I'm a piece of shit, that was wrong of me, I shouldn't have done that, he goes, I'm not gonna stop being friends with her, I don't care about your feelings, like, deal with it, bitch. Like, he didn't give a fuck about me. He never did. He's so all he cares about is himself and his little life, and that's just who I was dealing with. And it's just, like, it's just a joke. Like, I can't even take, it's like, why am I even wasting my breath on this man? But I'm learning, like, I'm talking it out. I'm learning about myself. It's just, holy shit. So she invited him to Sedona in January. He came clean about that. What? Okay. Around that time, I confronted him about, this is just such a, like, social media ruins relationships. Social media is making people crazy. Social media is stupid. It's not fucking real. Everyone's just, like, paranoid and, like, always checking other people's social media. Okay, I know this is what that is. Okay, I don't give a fuck. It's reality. Like, I'm not going to fight reality. I'm just going to, like, live through it and go that I'm going to be honest with myself and you guys that social media is part of it's part of the equation in relationships now, whether you like it or not. And I have boundaries with social media. I have clear things that I've told him about social media that, you know, are, like, just non-negotiables for me. Like, you don't just go and you just don't like, I'm your woman, me. The only women that get attention from you, the only woman in this world, is me. Okay? That's it. If a girl walks down the street and thinks she's hot and you're like, damn, that's a hot, like, sure, think that, okay? When you're on social media, it's like, if you think a girl's hot, like, whatever, just don't go fucking message her. And, you know, if she inquires, if she invites you on a trip to another state to go frolic in the desert with, you don't entertain that. You don't say anything you just don't even fucking respond. Like, I don't get that. So when he said she invited him to Sedona, I'm like, first of all, if I ever invited a man on a road trip to Sedona, I'd want to, it's because I want to fuck him. Like, I would be interested in him in a romantic way, like a one-on-one road trip. Am I batshit crazy? Do I sound crazy right now? Like, I feel like, why am I even needing to explain this? Like, that's obvious to me. So her intentions were that. It wasn't just like, oh, let's just be two buds and go to Sedona. Like, Sedona, it's like a romantic fucking road trip. Okay, we were just on a trip together, us two. And she was recently, so back to the social media being just ridiculous. I know how this sounds. Like, around that time, I was like, look, this girl's on my shit. And it's like, why is she keeping up with me? I don't know her, like, but I know you have a past. Like, what's going on? This makes me uncomfortable. You know, so around that time, it's like, she's aware. And that's when I was like posting him, and like, obviously we're in a relationship. So what the fuck? You know what I mean? So that when I found out that, I was just like, so dumb. That he even responded. I think he said no. He goes, oh, the only reason I said no was because he made up some bullshit. I'm like, so you were considering going with her while you were my boyfriend? What So yeah, he finally came clean about that. Oh, so here's a red flag I realized. So one time I was talking about, I'm not going to be specific here. One time I was talking about a body part that I was not like insecure about, but I was just like I was just like talking about a body part of mine to him. And he was like consoling me a little bit about it, or just like trying to be like nice. He goes, oh, well, like he said something like, oh, do you feel that way because so-and-so, the girl, has that, and you know that I dated her, or like, oh, you know that I've been with, like, he literally confessed to him, you know, seeing this girl without clothing on, basically. And I didn't realize that until after, but I'm like, oh, I remember that one time, like a couple months ago. He goes, oh, do you feel that way because she's, you know, Jesus, do I sound so insecure right now and jealous and like, oh, why I don't give a fuck about this other woman. It's just like the whole situation's a story to tell. It's a lot of there's like a lot of details that it's like I'm trying to tell a story, and there's like no way to do it without, or especially this story, without kind of sounding a little crazy and jealous and like insecure about myself, you know what I mean? Because I got cheated on. Like, that's probably what everyone's thinking. Oh, you got cheated on. You're like insecure about yourself because the other woman, and he likes her, not you. And you know, it is what it is. Men don't cheat with better. They cheat with easy. It's actually an insult. This is like a fucking quote. It's like, oh, it's actually an insult when you see who your man cheats on you with or something, because you're like, the only thing I have on her, I mean, she's like the total package. I'm sure she has everything he's ever dreamed of. She's like literally the total package, a complete bombshell. Like, the only thing I have on her, I'm pretty sure, is my youth. So I'm pretty sure he told me she's like pushing 40. So I'm pretty, yeah. The only thing I brought to the table for this man is my youth and my award-winning personality. And what else do I have going? Well, I can mention other things, but I'll keep it PG. I know I mentioned how he talked shit about her on the last episode, but I thought of something else he said. Like, why did he talk shit about her? Like, that's such a red flag. If a guy's talking shit about a girl, like, but he was saying, I'm pretty sure he called her like out of like unfit or something, or like, he goes, we were getting a drink. We were down at this place in this little Italy neighborhood here, and we were getting old fashions, and he's like I think he called her like, oh, she has like a like something about her like jaw's huge or something. I don't even fucking know. It was just like, why are you saying this and it's so specific? Like maybe do you, like, you know what I mean? Like what the fuck? It just messes with my head to think back on this. But again, like why do I'm just like these are like random details, okay? So back to what I was saying, she invited him to Sedona. That pissed me off. Oh, the body part. And he goes, oh, do you feel that way? Or does that make you feel that way because she has that and you don't? Or something like that. Red flags I noticed towards the end. So I noticed he was wearing cologne all of a sudden. And I'm like, you never wear cologne. That's one thing I didn't like about him. He never wore cologne. He only wore like deodorant and like he never smelled sexy. Like I love when a man puts on cologne and you're like going out on a date with him and you like smell him and then you go home. It's just like the best, right? He never wore cologne. But like towards the end, like the last couple months, he would like come over to, like maybe he'd go out for drinks or something with his guy friends and have like a little boys time. Then he'd come over to my place and I'm like, you smell good. And he's like, oh yeah, Hugo Boss or whatever. I'm like, why weren't you wearing that for me this whole time? You know what I mean? Like, why are you trying to smell good out there? So that kind of, that was a little red flag that I thought about afterwards. I noticed he was also like more protective of his phone. Like we were on the couch at my place and just like the way he held it was just like not like anywhere he was, it was just like he was very like he like hid it more. And then if I ever saw it, like, you know, when you're sitting next to your boyfriend and girlfriend on the couch and they're on like Instagram, I would always like see her fucking DM in his DMs. I'm like, so you're talking to your good buddy, your good friend in the DMs. I can see that. The hair that wasn't mine, I still believe that was shady. And when I confronted him about that, he started laughing in my well, he was just like like, no one's been in my room but you for this last year. No one's been in here. I'm like, I know what my hair looks like. I still think that was shady. And that was like a month ago. So I'm full sending this. I don't care how. At this point, it's like I've said it all. I'm going in. I'm women act this way. Women are quote unquote crazy and we fucking turn into these whatever you want to say about us, psychopaths, because of men's behavior. If my boyfriend was honest and like straight up with me and treated me with love and respect, this episode doesn't exist. These pop shots I'm taking on him and these things I'm saying don't exist. Your behavior, buddy, there's repercussions, okay? And I'm not gonna, like I said in the beginning, I'm not fucking soft. I'm not a doormat. When people disrespect me, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna share my experience with my audience, and I'm gonna speak up, okay? You know, he said something like, we were on the phone at Coachella. I haven't even gotten to the part about how he was asking me questions about her and what I've heard and the messages I got about her. Holy fuck. That's probably like the last segment. We were talking about like, I think I was like, I wouldn't want you to be the father of my kids or something like that. I was just being like, you know, taking a pop. I was why do I keep saying pop shot? And he goes, well, I'm glad you're not the mother of my kids and because they turn out like batshit crazy like you. So he called me crazy, and I'm like, I was like, I would want my kids to stand up to abuse and disrespect and speak up for themselves and stand their ground against someone like you over like, do you know what I mean? So sure, call me crazy, say that you wouldn't want your kids to turn out crazy like me, but I think that this is at the end of the day like a good thing. I'm not embarrassed by this. I'm not ashamed of this. I think it's more about like the stereotype that I'm referencing, like the crazy girlfriend stereotype, that it's just like, no, it's not even that. It's a person who was wronged standing her ground and speaking up for herself. And I would want my kids to do just that. And I wouldn't want my kids to lie and cheat and be dishonest and average to their partners like you. Okay? So in this case, crazy is a compliment. And you know? So the call at Coachella. When I said in the beginning, I have all these like new listeners from San Diego. Shout out to you guys. God, where do I even start? So basically, after I posted the last episode, like this is like nuts to me, honestly. I'm still just like, what are the odds, right? After I post the episode, I didn't realize, so maybe they weren't new listeners, but people that follow me from San Diego, like knew who the fuck I was referring to and shared their personal stories with me about this other woman that were similar to my experience, including a story involving someone who was engaged. And I'm just like, what are the fucking odds? It's such a small town here, I swear. Like, it's like if you listen to a podcast of some girl you follow on Instagram from the same town as you, and you connect the dots that quickly, and you go, oh yeah, that same fucking thing happened to me. That was just like that was the craziest thing. So I was just saying, fuck it. At this point, I have no I'm not in the relationship. It's Sunday. He's at Coachella with her, and they're frolicking around and whatever. I'm just like, he had called me that morning because he actually said sorry. Oh my God, I didn't even I should have said this earlier. He called me and apologized that morning on Sunday when he was at Coachella, and he felt really bad for what he did. And he was immediately, it was so crazy. I pick up the phone and it's just like immediately like, I'm sorry, you know. Shit, why didn't I say that earlier? Which I wasn't expecting. And I think that's when the relationship officially ended. That phone call, that's when I would say it did. Because I thought, like, he's at Coachella. I'm thinking he's coming back the next week and we're going to have a conversation. He's taking space away from me. But of course I find out he's with the girl, like fully fucking cheating on me. I'm still in my brain in a relationship. In his brain, he's not, and it's okay to just go like be with another woman that weekend and go with her, and she invited you, and it's just like, that's okay, and we're staying in a hotel together and all, you know. It's just like that. I just felt even more, that was like more cheating in my head. So fuck. So he called me, I'm sorry, and then that's the day I posted the podcast. And then what else did we talk about that morning? We just kind of like came to a close. He's like, I want to be cordial about this, whatever. Okay. That night we were like texting. I have all the messages. There's so many. And I was just like being honest with him. I'm like, look, this isn't about like I'm not trying to, is this immature? I think this is like, Jacqueline, don't go that low. You know what? I guess, fuck it. I just was in that mood. I was just like, fuck it. The relationship's done. I just might as well tell him, give him a heads up about who he's dealing with. So I was like, look, I received messages from people in this town about her, and like I was like, do you want to see their receipts? I'm not proud of this. When I say this man got real communicative all of a sudden and started like he got real curious all of a sudden. And he was like, it's like he was freaking out. Like, what does she know about this girl I'm with at Coachella right now? Like, what are people saying about her? He's like having me send him the screenshots and like showing him what people are saying. And I'm just fully going in because it's like the relationship's done. We're broken up. But like, hey man, I might be doing you a favor here. So I thought that was really funny. He was like trying to figure out, like, before I move forward with this woman I just cheated on my girlfriend with, I'm gonna figure out what kind of person she is, and if she's like a bad, conniving, manipulative, crazy, whatever, I don't even know what he would think of her, like, type of person. It's like, that's so gross. It's so just like, what the fuck? But I was just giving him the info. I was just like, fuck it, here you go. And then he called me. We were on the phone for like an hour. It was like, I don't even know, like 10 p.m. on Sunday night at Coachella. And we were just like, he kept asking me questions about her and like asking me what I knew, what people were saying. And like it's like he was freaking out. But that's when I say it's a small town, I'm like, people, it's like everybody, it seems like everybody kind of knows about other people. And like, I don't know, her name was apparent. So to summarize, it was just like obvious to me that there was a pattern here with her, getting involved with men in relationships, and there's a lot of women in this town that were not, I don't even know, I can't say a lot, just like enough people, multiple people, I can't say one, it's not just me that had this experience, who had a bad experience with her. So that's just kind of it in a nutshell. And you know, I'm all about women supporting women, right? Like, I'm all about that, but not in this case. It's just like, don't be a homewrecker. Just don't do it. Don't be like that. I think that's like a thrill for some people, though, or just like, I don't even know. It's like the man's involved. The man is always involved too. Okay. And something I've talked, or I've thought about, is like, what was he telling her? What did she know? Okay. But because what he was telling her could be different than what he was telling me. You know, he might have been like, yeah, I don't have a girlfriend and I'm single right now and we're not together anymore. We broke up last year, like whatever. She might be thinking, oh yeah, I like this guy. And you know, it's like totally cool of me to invite him around to adventures and Coachella because he's single. Like, maybe he was telling her that. I don't know, but I have a pretty good feeling she knew we were together, because like, I'm literally in his bed like 2 days before he fucking cheated on me with her. And like, it's like, well, she wouldn't know that, but like, it just sucks. It fucking sucks. I just feel like maybe I'm, again, neurotic and insecure and crazy, but like, when I like a man, because it's 2022 and we all have Instagram and social media, I'm looking around. Okay, I'm trying to find out, like, does he have a girlfriend? Does he have a girlfriend? Does he have, you know? And I'm like trying to figure out, like, who's he hanging out with? What's he doing? What are his tagged pictures? Who's he? You know, who are his friends? Like, that's what you do. And I feel like, I know she might be pushing 40 or whatever he fucking said about her, and Jesus Christ, but like, I'm pretty sure it was obvious that we were in a relationship. Okay, so I don't know. Should I like debrief from this episode, talk about what I'm proud of, what I'm not proud of? I started out fucking crying, and then I just got I said some pretty nasty things, I think, and I'm, you know, not super proud of that, in all honesty. But that's, again, it's just me being real. It's me hanging out with you at my apartment, and or just calling you up on the phone, because this is audio if you're listening to it in your ears. It's just like me just telling you like it is. I was done dirty, and I got strung along, I got lied to, and I got cheated on, and it just fucking sucks. And there's no easy, eloquent, sophisticated, happy, snappy way to talk about it. It's just, and maybe people out there, maybe the gurus, maybe the enlightened ones, the monks would advise me to meditate instead of podcasting and not waste my breath. But I'm Jacqueline Monroe, and this is my fucking podcast, and This is who I am. Okay. I'm an oversharer. I'm an overthinker. I don't even think that's a bad thing. Like, I think he made me go, or made me question oh, you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. Actually, I don't think I do that too much. Here on the show, obviously I do. I'm like thinking and talking it out at the same time, but, yeah, he said some bullshit about me. Like, I don't take action on things. Bitch, I'm more successful than, like, that's the thing. I was like, he was punching up. I was punching down. Like, I'm more successful than you, bro. Like, I'm like better. Not that it matters, but I'm like doing better in my career and life than you. Like, I don't take action on things. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're a fucking mess. Like, I don't know why. I was just like, it hit me at the end. I'm like, I'm literally dating in the wrong dating pool, dating you. Like, you're just not even on my level. And I don't mean that in like a disrespectful way. It sounds disrespectful, but like, it's like, bro, you're not on my level. And like, he said some things like, I don't even want to give it any more time and thought. He just wasn't a man in the relationship. I felt like I had to take care of him. Yuck. I never want to feel that way ever again. Or just like, he couldn't provide. He wasn't a provider. And that's what I need. Like, if in a relationship, all a woman wants is security, safety, and what is it? Safety and security. Because a woman never wants to feel like you're gonna leave her or cheat on her, and she wants to feel physically safe, like her body safe, and that if, you know, World War III breaks out, you're gonna protect her. Okay, that's like huge. And a woman wants this is just me being a heterosexual straight woman who's feminine. Like, I want a man to provide, and he didn't do that. It was just very like, we're both, I mean, I just knew it. Like, when he was being tit for tat on gas money on road trips, I'm like, you're taking me, you invited me on this road trip with you. You're driving your car and you're making me, like, I don't know. I just, like, not that a man should pay for everything. It's just like, some of the things were just off like that. I think it's because he thought, he like knew I was more successful than him or whatever. And he always just like calling me sugar mama and shit. Like, as a joke, but I don't think he was joking. Like, one time we were out drinking and he goes, oh, like, we were down in Little Italy again, and he's like, I know you're doing better than I am, and I know you're just such a boss, and you're killing it at your job, and you're just so successful, and like, you make so much money and all this shit. And he was like saying that about me. Like, his perception of me was like, I was financially better off than him. And I don't know if that made him feel insecure or like, I don't know how it made him feel, but I think he maybe resented me. But that was always like an awkward thing in the relationship. And again, when I say, like, at this point, I'm realizing, like, girl, you're just in a different, you shouldn't be dating guys like him who can't provide for you in the way that you need. It's mostly about like how I feel. Like, I don't like to feel like my man is, some women don't give a fuck. Okay, I'm someone who's like, I don't need to hear about how cash poor you are and shit. You know? Like, you need to eat top ramen and like PB&J. And like, he said that as like a joke, but it's just like, I don't think it's a joke. I think you need to get your shit together. I don't think, like, what are you like? But then he would like buy a bunch of expensive shit. I don't know. He was just weird with money sometimes and just annoying about it, and like very frugal to the point where it's like, I can't breathe. Like, you just, or like yeah, it wasn't fun. So, no judgment. Like, again, it's like, not for me. Not for me. It's not what I need someone with their shit together in that department and on my level. And it would be settling. Like, that's the thing I said in the last episode. Like, staying with him would have been settling. And I felt like, how I feel about my life now and my energy and the way that the way things have blossomed so rapidly after the breakup is like, this man was like lowering my vibration, not to get spiritual or whatever. Like, it was like he lowered my aura. He like dimmed it. I like wilted over the last year in a way. Like, I grew personally. A lot of things happened like positively in my life while I was with him, but it was mostly because of like myself. Like, I don't really think he was always supportive and everything of what I was doing, but he didn't inspire me. He didn't really get me excited in that way. Like, oh, well, you're inspiring me to be a better version of myself. No, like, I looked at him and I'm like, you're making me depressed, like watching you and like how you're living and like what you're doing is just so draining and boring and like sad and just so tiring. And like, I just don't like, now I see it. I'm like, Jacqueline, why were you hanging around him that much? It's like, what will we be doing right now on a Friday night? Like or anytime we hung out, it's just like, not that you have to do anything, but he was always too tired and just always drained and low energy. And that rubbed off on me. And I think it really lowered my quality of life. And I'm just, so since we broke up, it's like everything is so like upbeat. I'm like smiling more. I'm more positive. I'm like happier. And I know, again, like I fucking cried at the beginning of the episode. Like, I've been a mess because the second I think about the goodness he brought me and the love and that feeling that came over my body when I was with him, and that how much he made me feel, he was like my home for a year, my person, you know, he was that in my life for so long. The second that comes over me, it's like tears. I'm in a ball crying. I think it's going away now, but for the most part, I'm doing very well. Things are looking really good in my life right now, and I think this was divinely created, and it was meant to, not to say everything's meant to be, but like it happened for a reason. I've already been, let me just like give you guys an update. I've already been on some dates. I'm already like moving forward because that's the only, unfortunately, it's like hard because you're like, you just have to get busy. You have to move on. And I'm forcing myself to do it. It's not easy. Cause like while I'm on a date, I'm like, I wish I was with my ex. Well, it's not like I wish I was, but he was like, instantly I'll meet someone. I'm like, oh, you're not my ex. I'm not even that attracted to you, or like, it's just not really vibing or whatever. But, speaking of vibing, I did meet someone that we had a conversation until like 3 a.m. and I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been missing for the last year. Like, finally someone that stimulates me intellectually and can hold a conversation with me for like hours and entertain me with their mind. And so that was amazing. And we were like on the 40, like my ex would never do this. We were on like the 40th floor of the Hyatt, drinking martinis, like looking over the city. And he like brought me, he like drove me, he like picked me up, brought me there. And we like drove around the city. We got another drink at another cool spot. He like took me to the park. We like spun around on the playground a little bit. And like we had like this little moment that was really cute. And it was just like, this man is fun. He's exciting. He's full of like energy and life, and his mind is like just beautiful. And I was like, what the fuck? I told him, I was like, this is already 10 times better than any conversation I've had with my ex. Because he knew that I was just cheated on, and like he kind of came to the rescue. But I was like, this is already 10 times better than any conversation I've had with my ex over the last year. So it's looking good. I'm already feeling optimistic about my future and my dating life, but unfortunately I had to go through this like experience and learn this lesson. And I think love blinds us, you know. Why do we hang around people and or get stuck in relationships for longer than we should be? It's because of the love. We think it's love. but it wasn't. It was well, it was. No, it was. That's the thing that sucks. It's like, yes, it was love. I say I was in love with him. I do. Like right now, just in this moment when I think about it, I'm like, I want him back. I miss him. Like, I get really sad. Like, it's really hard because you go on. That's what breakups like this are. It's a wave. And what I would do to like give him a hug, you know, and see him again, and just talk to him, you know. As much as he hurt me, I still loved him, and I don't want to end the episode crying, but that's just the reality that I'm going through right now, and I think he's flawed. I think he's deeply, something is wrong with him internally that has nothing to do with me, and none of this has to do with me. It has everything to do with the other person and what he's internally struggling with or going through, and what happened in his childhood. Like, we all behave because of the way things went down as a child, and when we act out as adults, it's because it's like all we know. It's all based on our life experience starting at a really young age, and I really hope that he figures it all out. He's not going to find it in the mountains. I can tell you that. He's climbed enough fucking mountains to anyone that's climbed as many mountains as him and has gone on and has hiked as many miles as him shouldn't behave this way. They should have it figured the fuck out, and they should be like the most enlightened, like best version of themselves, and like so rock solid in how they treat people and how they live their life. And he's just not. He's a fucking mess and so average. I keep saying he's average. I know that's like so rude, but truly, get off the mountain, go to therapy. Look, I'm not perfect. I'm trying. Okay, part of this podcast is like me doing personal therapy. I'm really trying to become a better person, and that's like all life is really about, you know, leveling up, calling yourself out on your bullshit and not repeating it, and treating people with respect. All right. Jimmy's passed out. I'm tired. I just had a intrusive thought. It never ends. You guys, it never fucking ends. I just thought about how I think what if he's lying to me about this weekend? Because he's lied to me so much. Like, I literally I'll never believe a single word he says. But I remember when he's like, yeah, my dad and my mom are coming to San Diego, and my dad and I are going to go climbing this mountain he likes to climb. We're going to go climb at the end of April, so this weekend. And they're going to come in, they're going to fly in, and then my mom's going to like stay at hotels while we're climbing. And we're going to do it over like 3 days, me and my dad, because he's older, and it's going to like take him longer. And so I'm just thinking in my head, like, I didn't ask him. I was like waiting for him to say like, oh, I want you to meet my parents. Like, you know, like, oh, when they fly in, will I go to dinner or something? Cause he met my mom and my sister. Like, my mom and sister came last summer, and we went out to dinner with them. Like, it was like right away, like meet my parents, you know, like it was that kind of thing. But I realized like when he talked about, he wasn't like, I was like, oh, like I can't wait to meet them. Right. Like I said that, and he just like didn't say much. And what if he's not? What if that was a lie? Like, what if he's not with his parents this weekend and they didn't fly in? And do you know where I'm going with this? What if he's with his new girlfriend on the mountain instead? That would be a full circle moment. Truly, because that's what happened last year, and that's how I even found out about her, is because he went hiking, or he went on listen to the last episode. That's how the relationship started. You know, I was on the phone with my brother and his girlfriend, and they're like, look, the relationship started, so with this person, this other woman, like going on this climbing trip behind your back with him. That's how it started. So she was always on your radar as like, what, like, it was like a, you know, that alarm, that was like how the relationship started. And it was like a sore spot, or just like it made you uncomfortable. And so, or not like, yeah, just at the start, right? And so then if that's what's going on this weekend and he's not with his parents and he lied to me, like, that would be fucking nuts. I won't be able to find out. He doesn't have social media. I think she blocked me. Yeah, like, it's a fucking mess, but like, that would literally, that'd be so funny. I don't doubt it. It's kind of like, piece of shit he is. Yeah, my parents are coming to town. Because what if we were still together and he said that, and then like he went behind my back with her? Like, dude, if you don't trust someone, get the fuck out of a relationship. Period. End of story. What did he say? I'm not a liar. I'm a liar. I'm not a cheater. It's like, no, you're a cheater. The hair, girls. If you're finding hair in your man's bedroom that's not yours, he's cheating on you. That was such a crazy moment. I know this is lingering. Everyone that tells me about my podcast or like talks to me about my podcast, they're like, yeah, so you say you're gonna end it and then like 20 minutes later you're still talking. Jesus. That was such a crazy moment, just like me like examining I like ripped my own hair out and I'm like examining this like light brown hair, and I'm like, and then I was like, then I went to my bathroom back home and I was like, if I put hairspray on it, does it like change the texture and does it match that one? That shit. I don't even care. What's my quote? Oh yeah, I made this little new so this is go to the YouTube or Spotify. I'm just coming down from the episode right now. I made this little pot of Vaseline for his left eye that was always dry, because I would like have him put it on his eye to moisturize it. That needs to go in the garbage. So it's just a bunch of bullshit. Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, the hair. I don't remember. I didn't read the 50th Law book, the 50 Cent book. My favorite quote is this: every negative is a positive. The bad things that happen to me, I somehow make them good. That means you can't do anything to hurt me. That's 50 Cent's quote. Yeah. Every negative is a positive. The bad things that happen to me, I somehow make them good. That means you can't do anything to hurt me. It's a blessing. Like, this kind of shit is such a blessing. Breakups are a blessing. Getting cheated on is a blessing. It's just like, I'm so fucking proud of myself, and just so like I've arrived. Like, honestly, not to, it's like in these moments, it's like you kind of have to toot your own horn, right? It's like you just got dumped, or like someone just fucking did you dirty and cheated on you, and then you're in like a low place, and it's like, no, you have to pump your chest and go, I didn't tolerate that bullshit. I stood up for myself. I walked away and I said fuck you, and I called him out multiple times for what he did, and he always denied it though. He's just like, he'll never think he cheated on me. Didn't cheat on you. It's like, that's what I want your feedback on, okay, guys, especially the male perspective. Mostly, I don't get it, but like 80% of my listeners are guys. I think it has to do with like Instagram and who follows me, because that's just my ratio. Also on Instagram, I think. But just one of the boys. The boys just, what can I say? The boys just love me. I'm just so entertaining, and they love listening to me talk. No, honestly, it's like actually crazy that people listen this long and they get through like an entire episode. I'm like, I thought it was a thing, or I've heard men talk about women like, oh, girls talk too much, or like they're not interesting to listen to, or like shit like that. I'm like, what am I doing different here? I don't know. I just press record and that's it, and I say whatever comes to mind. But yeah, from a guy's perspective, I'm curious. Do you think he gets a pass, like from the text message? Do you think it's acceptable what he did, and would you consider that just being a lying, deceitful boyfriend, or is that cheating? Like, is taking a woman is going with a is going with a woman, going is omitting that you're hanging out with a woman that your girlfriend doesn't like. Is that cheating? Is that technically, is that like under the umbrella of cheating? I think it's cheating. And is going to Coachella with that same woman a week later, and she invites you, and then you don't tell your girlfriend who you're still in a relationship with. He thinks he wasn't in a relationship. I'm like, you literally told me you need to like, he was like getting my hopes up, thinking he's going to have a conversation with me after a week of space after he goes to Coachella, right? That's just me being stupid. But he thinks he's like broken up and single to do whatever he wants according to his text message. That's not what he told me. I had him confirm that too, because I'm like, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Like, I'm in, I'm willing to work with you on this. He goes, yeah, I'm hurt. I need to like take some space. I'm going to go to Coachella. And then it's just like, sounds like you're still kind of in. You weren't like, hey, I also want to break up with you. I'm done. I'm single now. You weren't straight up like that. So yeah, is that cheating? So then she invites him to Coachella and they go, and then, you know, and isn't it like a major sign that someone cheats on you when they all of a sudden are like hanging out with that person, like the person they cheated on you with, and like kind of in a relationship with them all of a sudden? Right? That's kind of like a red flag. Like, you just like moved on to the next relationship like that. It's like, no, you were talking this whole time. You were always messaging. You were always like planning shit together and doing shit behind my back together. And I knew it. And trust your gut. If I learned anything, so the number one lesson, I will end the episode right now. The number one thing I learned from this last relationship is trust your fucking gut. It's not wrong. If you have a bad feeling, that your boyfriend's cheating on you with someone, or being shady with another person, get out of the relationship. Your gut's right. It was like everything I kind of had an intuition about came true. And for the spiritual gurus out there, all the people that, you know, practice spirituality and manifestation or whatever, did I fucking manifest this because I had that intuition, like that thought, like, oh, this is going on maybe behind my back and it's sketchy in my brain? Like, did I like create that? Did that become the reality because of my brain thinking about it as a potential like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, wait, is that, no, that doesn't fucking work that way. It's just not, whatever. Because part of me goes, oh, I had a bad gut feeling, and then I thought about it here and there, and then it kind of happened. No, that's just me being, I think, smart. And that's my body telling me something and me not, and I should have listened to it. So that's my lesson. And maybe not, and maybe another lesson is like, if he lies to you, he lied to me a lot. And if you're his okay, he lied to me. Just think about this. I don't know who's listening right now, but here I am, this man's ex-girlfriend now, coming to the internet with the story about how he treated me. And it's like, if you're his friend, if you're his coworker, if you're his family member, and you're hearing me say this, like, I'm sure if I was on the receiving end of this and I knew him personally, I would be like, what's this man gonna do to me? Like, is he gonna be a lying, deceitful person to me too? Is this how he's, you know? This isn't cute. This isn't good. Okay? Like, when I think about it, I'm like, I never disclosed his name. I never said his name. I nobody, it's like, I don't know how, if you know, you know, and I feel like it's only people in my circle that know who I'm talking about, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, this carries over into everything in life. The way you treat people, the way you treat your girlfriend. If you cheat on a girlfriend, like, what are you doing with your, you know, other relationships? What are you doing in business? What kind of shit are you, you know, shady shit are you doing with your money? Which kind of shady, it's like, makes you think. And I'm always checking myself. I always mention this. Did I end the podcast? No, I didn't. I go, truly, I'm sitting here thinking, auditing myself, something I like to do a lot on the show, and reflect. I reflect on the kind of woman I am, and my personal values and morals, and I reflect on like kind of person I am, and I'm like, what is it that I'm doing right now in my life that is similar to this? Like, in what way am I cheating on someone, or like in what area of my life am I do you know, where am I being a piece of shit? Like, he did this to me, okay, and like, am I that way too? Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, what is it that where am I not being a good person in this world? Like, where am I, she's overthinking. It's the end of the episode. She's an overthinker. She's crazy. But that's what I'm like, I'm sitting with myself now, really thinking about it. I'm like, where am I being a piece of shit in this world? Or to people, and mostly let's switch this to relationships. What relationships am I in right now where I'm not showing up and being honest and loyal and good to the other person? The most amazing thing that's come out of this podcast, to be honest, is or especially this last episode, is I had a friend reach out to me. We've talked, she's DM'd me a few times, who I haven't talked to in a few years, and I can say then that I was a shitty friend to her. And I think at the time we had a falling out because of my just total like selfishness and not really or lack of like empathy, and just like lack of I was like living for myself, and I didn't really care about, I don't think I was I wasn't a good friend. So I can say then, like, that's when I was. But the amazing thing is, what I was saying is, like, she reached out, like, she listened to the episode, and we were talking all of a sudden, and it's like, I'm a good fucking person. Like, when I think about it, I'm like, I can't come up with a single way I'm being a piece of shit to anyone else in any relationship that I'm in right now. I'm really trying to think about it. Like, my dad and I talk all the time, and we used to not talk after my parents got divorced, but now we're like super solid. We talk like all the time, and we have the best conversations. In fact, I actually wanted to come on the podcast. Mom and I talk on the phone every day. My sister and I FaceTime like every day. My brother and I talk on the phone all the time. Me and his girlfriend are in good terms. My new friendships in San Diego are all solid. I'm really good. Something I've been doing, like, now that I've been, on a couple dates and I am talking to new people, it's like, I'm like purposely responding to text messages like really quickly, and I'm like on point with my communication. I'm not a piece of shit. Like, I'm not being a disrespectful, lying person to anyone right now. I'm just trying to make myself feel good about myself, and make my ex just look like, I don't know, I've done it enough. So average. His sister was right. That's the story I told in the last episode. His sister was right. This is how he treats women. And he lives for himself. He's selfish. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. And this should not be. I have nothing in common. Or this will never, this story I'm telling about my ex will never be told about me. It's literally like, I'm just like, That's wild. I would, like, this will never, like, I am not, that's not, I have nothing in common. Like, I am not that type of person. That's what blows my mind. I'm like, you know what? I could cry right now. I'm fucking might end this with crying. I'm going to end this with a little tears, guys. This man knew about my past. And he knew about how almost every man I've ever encountered and been in a relationship with has let me down. And it's gotten to the point where it's like I almost expected at some point in a relationship they're just gonna fucking let me down. And he knows this. He knows that he knows about all the shit I've been through, all the horrible things I've had to go through in relationships, and how horrible men have treated me, and how all the bullshit I've had to fucking shoulder in my dating life so far. And he knew about all this, and I always thought, and he always made me feel like I would never do that to you. I would never do you dirty. I would never cheat on you. I would never lie to you. I would never treat you wrong. And he was so, like, he made me feel like he was good, and he had a big heart, and he would never ever hurt me. And he let me down too. He's just like every other fucking asshole that I've had to deal with. I never thought he would. That's the thing. It's like, how could you? How could you? That's what sucks. He always said, and this was the best thing he always told me, is, you know, I have my quirks. I have my personality that's a little out there sometimes. And he goes, Jacqueline, none of this makes me love you any less. And I love you exactly the way you are. And never change anything about how you act or anything around me, because I love you exactly how you are. And it's just like, no one's ever told me that. No one's ever made me feel that accepted and that comfortable in my own skin, and comfortable to be fucking crazy and wild and say all the stuff I say that's, you know. So yeah, it just sucks. He fucking let me down too. And he just, should I switch teams? Like, I just, this was like crazy, right? Like, I just went from emotion to, like, now I'm popping off. Like, I'm about to switch teams. Do I date women now? Do I fucking go the other way? I don't know what to do. This is like, I'm having a Joker moment. Do you see this? Like, I'm literally having a crazy, like, I just had a moment where I'm fucking crying, and then, is this mania? Like, I shouldn't even die or say any kind of, like, that's what happens though when you're emotional and everything, and then going through this, you, like, have these, like, crazy roller coaster moments emotionally, and it's just like, I don't hate men. I'm never gonna be one of those women that's like, fuck men are trash. But, like, right now I'm feeling that way, because that was one thing that was really big to me, is how he was so, like, in my corner and my rock about and just, like, held me when I told him what I've been through, and just, like, made me feel like he would never do that to me. Okay, I need to stop. I know this was a lot. But But you have to understand, it's not easy for me to be in a relationship with someone for a year and just like move on. Okay. And maybe I process things different than some people who can just like put their middle finger high and move on. You know, maybe I'm just different in that way, but yeah, I was just with this man for a year of my life, and it meant a lot to me, and I loved him, and it just sucks. You know, this all fucking sucks. And at the end of the day, I'm doing what we all do, okay? When we break up with people, we have thoughts. We have thoughts in our head all day long, all night long. We're thinking about it. We're going through it alone, you know? And all I'm doing here is what everyone else is doing, except I'm talking about it. I'm saying it out loud. I'm using my voice. I'm recording it. I'm posting a podcast, okay? So this was a total stream of consciousness, you know, while I'm going through a breakup, and it is what it is. So I need to stop, finally. Shit, I should be out on the town right now. Like, I should not be. It's like Friday night. I'm fucking crying with a $30 Amazon call center headset attached to my face in my little apartment. I'm going out tomorrow, though, so that's exciting. I guess the next phase of my podcast will be all about my dating life and all my dates and all my new boys and all my... Ugh, fuck. Part of it's like, oh, that's exciting, but also... I just got to know someone really well, and things are going so well up until the end, and I'm just, like, devastated. I'm just like, how the fuck do I find... I'm not, like, desperate, though, to get in a relationship again. It's just, like, I feel so good in life where I'm, like, I don't need to go do a shit ton of, like, work and be single and, like, read all this. I have all these self-help books I've already read, like, twice all around me. I just, like, I need to get with someone who's, like, on my fucking level mentally and who's, like, so just... They know exactly who they are, and they just know themselves, and that's the thing about me. It's like I'm unwavering, or what's the word? I have I'm unwavering in my ability to be myself all the time and be exactly who I am no matter who I'm with, no matter where I am. It's like, I need someone like that who doesn't put on a facade when they're in this group, or they're at that event, or they're, you know, at the, I don't know, at the grocery store. Like, they're just always this, they're so comfortable in their skin. They know exactly who they are, and they don't change. And they're not all about, like, yeah, my ex, I'm still recording. It was like, he was so, and I gotta say, I get it. Like, you're in this society where you're a man and it's like there's this unspoken thing, or this pressure that you need to have a really good career, and you need to be financially well off, and you need to have, like, a full life with, like, you need to have, like, your hobbies. Men, it's like you gotta have all the hobbies and all the toys and the friends, and you need to have, like, the, you know. And it's just like, this man, it's like I would, like, watch him think about his life, like, think out loud, and it was like, I do these things, I go on these adventures, I'm friends with these certain people, I buy these certain things, I do because it's like, this is gonna look good. this makes me look like a man and who's like doing well and is successful. You know, it's just like, bitch, are you fucking solid inside? Are you happy? I feel bad for him in a way. I feel like he's so programmed and so just like one lane, just like doesn't like think outside the box, doesn't have any sort of like a creative, like he's not like curious about anything. He just like accepts just the society and this is how things work and this is what we do and it's just like boring, just like a, but he doesn't seem very happy, and I think it's because he's like stuck in it. I think all this like extra stuff he does, all these adventures, is like, even when I'm on the adventures with him, I've gone on these like 50-mile hikes with him, I've done all this shit, and it's like he never really seems happy. That was like part of his like tagline, his little like motto, life motto. I'm like, if someone's telling you they're happy, I don't think they're really, it's just like, you didn't seem like it. It's also because he seemed like he was never satisfied, especially with his career. He was always like bitching about his job, and it's just like he never, I think it's the difference between me and him now that I'm reflecting for the fucking 5th time. I'm trying to end the podcast and here I am going on again. I think the difference between me and him is I wake up and I like who I am. And the littlest things make me happy. The simplest things make me happy. My basic little lifestyle, the like bare bones, like I get out of bed, make myself a coffee, I go to the gym now. I used to not go, but now I go. I walk my dog. I do my little like morning shower and I get myself all ready for my work and I work, and you know, just like that little like look simple little life routine. I'm glowing inside. I'm ecstatic. I love routine. I love my life. I love the little things in life. And I feel like this man is just like every fucking morning, I don't want to go to work. I slept like shit. I'm tired. Fuck, I gotta do this meeting in 5 minutes. Just like, everything fucking sucks. Like I want to go on a bike right after work. I'm too tired. Oh, it's gonna be just like always negative. I'm just like thinking about this now. It's like where I'm just like, it's a new day. I'm stoked and everything's good. Like I have such a ridiculous like I don't know. I think it's just because I have perspective about how blessed and lucky and how good I have it, and I think about it a lot maybe, and he doesn't. He's thinking about what he lacks when he doesn't have, and why where you know where he's at in life isn't where he wants to be, and he has more to accomplish and more to do and more to, it's just like it never ends, and that rubbed off on me, and it drains me. So all of this external shit, all these fucking adventures, all these fucking climbs, all these fucking ski trips, all this fucking shit, it's like it's fake. But that's just my opinion, or just my perception of him from from my viewpoint. He would probably say, I'm happy, I love my, yeah. So Jacqueline needs to find someone who's just like chill with them. They're just like happy because it's a new day and they're just like, life's great, and not someone who's just like constantly bitching about how much they are just like tired and don't want to work, and just like bad energy to be around. Best thing I did for that man, I bought him a Theragun, and he uses that bitch every single fucking day. that I have a Theragun that's not close to me right now, and he said this is the best gift anyone has ever given me. He uses that every day, and he can massage his calves and think about me every single time. How fucking nice I was to him, how good I was to him, and how I never cheated on him, and I loved him, and I gave him really good back massages, and I fought for him. I loved him for who he was, even with his flaws. Good luck finding that in someone else. That's the thing about me. It's like maybe that's where I fall short, or something I shouldn't do is like accept that many flaws and that many red flags into my life in a relationship. Just like that's like it's like the thing, like to a fault. Like I just think people are beautiful. I think people are imperfect, beautiful souls. And everything's a mirror, right? So like, yeah, when I say I accepted him for who he was, it's because I know that, yeah, nobody's perfect. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. And also, like, what was the mirror thing for me? Like, what was he mirroring on me that... It's almost like he was showing me the opposite of what I am. Or, like, how the shit I mean, like, that energy that I used to maybe carry on my shoulders all the time that I don't anymore. It's like that was rubbing... I don't know. Maybe I was, like, aware of it. It, like, was more... apparent to me. Yeah, I think that's like a lesson from dating him, is that if I was on his same low energy vibration, his level, it wouldn't probably be a problem to me, because I would be like that too. But because I'm above it and I'm like higher energy, more positive, more happy, more like upbeat, more, you know, it's like it was more noticeable, and I was like, oh, you know, I'm pitting out. Oh my god, I need to end this episode. Is that... No, wait, can you see that? Is my AC still on? 69 always. It's in Fahrenheit, if you're curious. All right, episode 312's done. It's done. The drama, the theatrics, the tea has been spilled. It's been aired out. It will live on forever as episode 311 and 312. I don't plan on making this a theme or a series on this show. It just kind of happened, and it was well received. I think people appreciated my vulnerability and my honesty and my courage for sharing my story, and they, you know, I'm sure got a kick out of some of the things I said. So yeah, moving forward, it's gonna be back to our regular programming here on the Jacqueline Monroe Show. It's gonna be conversations about my dog shitting multiple times in the night, and I have to wake up and let him out, and like, you know, how much coffee I drink, and how I need to go on a caffeine detox, and how I want to like redo my apartment and buy new furniture. Just like bullshit, like day-to-day stuff. But did I just peak as a podcast host? This kind of felt like a peak. So episode 312. We're done. I don't know how to end this. You guys, thank you for being here. I do want to thank you. Thank you for being here with me right now, and, you know, taking the time out of your day, wherever you are right now, to hear my story, and maybe like, thanks for like being in my corner. If you're like supporting me, being this, you know, vulnerable and everything. Like, thanks for being in my corner. It feels good. That's one thing I'll say about all the messages. Like, nothing feels better than like going through a breakup and then people just showering you with like love and praise and just like, you know, cheering you on and saying how all these nice things about you. Like, I can't thank you guys enough. Like, I didn't understand how many fucking people listen to my podcast until I posted this last episode. Like, everyone on Instagram's like sending me a message now about it. It's like, this is the topic people, you know, they listened to, or they like wanted to message me about. So let's pray to God I don't have to talk about cheating again. Knock on wood. All right. Thank you for being here. I love you guys a lot. I hope you have a great week. Be honest. Be straight up. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Treat people with respect, including yourself. And don't cheat. And don't lie to your partner. So they might make a podcast about you someday. And yo, no one's safe. We learned that. We fucking learned that. You cheat on my ass. You treat me like shit. You lie to me, and you're my boyfriend. It's going on the podcast. That's what we learned. And I have absolutely no regrets, or like, I don't feel bad about it. I don't owe him anything. I don't owe him any like, yes, he's a person, he's flawed. I always said all that shit, but like, I don't owe him anything. So, bye, boy. What did I say last episode? Bye. See ya. Have a good life. Wish you the best. Enjoy your adventures with your new girlfriend. How jealous or insecure, how bitter can I sound right now? How do I end the podcast? Have a great week. Hit that subscribe button, please. If you've made it this far, you might as well hit the subscribe button and review the show on Apple or Spotify. You can review it on Spotify now. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. No one watches there or listens there, but like, if you support me, if you're like, hey, I like listening to our podcast, and you have a YouTube and you watch YouTube videos, at the least just like click the subscribe button. And like, I don't know about you, but I don't ever click my subscription inbox on YouTube. I just like see whatever's on the homepage. So like, it wouldn't even, if you don't even like want to watch the show, it won't even show up. But like, subscribing would help me out a lot. So let's get me to 101 subscribers after this episode. I'm currently at 100. Do the math. I don't know how that makes any sense. I don't fucking care. People watch me on Spotify though, which is cool. I can't even believe that. Just seems cool that I have my video podcast on Spotify. But yeah, do all the things. Follow me on Instagram. And thank you. I love you. I will never cheat on you. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next Sunday. Bye.